Okay, we're back, everybody. Thanks for persisting with us. Might need to refresh your screen, so if we show offline, we will be back. Showing offline on my live. Here we go again. So we did that just purely for when we export this to YouTube. We can't export for more than 2 hours worth, so we split that there so that we can bring uninterrupted coverage of the best of 5 face-off between these two Bainbow decks. Hopefully all our viewers will come back. Maybe Lewis or Kevin or somebody can spam on the forum to say, hey, there's a...
Yeah, I'm actually already doing that. Just bumped our one thread. Gonna pop it in the chat
everywhere.
box too.
If we can get over 80 viewers, then Kyle is going to start giving out redeem codes.
Oh, redeem codes. Cool stuff.
If he's still awake. Hopefully he's still awake. You should start giving them out anyway, just to summon people, because it'd be great to have lots of viewers for this final.
All right, I did a scroll through of the old bracket. It appears Lying Dragon and Monomax, they've actually never encountered each other on both days until now.
Wow. And they've shown up with Bainbows.
This is the first encounter for those two, so this one's completely fresh. They don't know what each other's running. I mean, they know what each other's running from scouting, but they don't know, like, they haven't played against each other and felt...
Monomax Spring yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah. I know somebody brought Bainbow yesterday.
I think he might have. I'm going to look at the deck list. Let's see what he did bring. I know he was out relatively early. He lost in round 1, went to the losers bracket, and was out by losers bracket round 2, I believe. So he didn't make it too far. He might have top 6th. Was around there somewhere. He didn't get the top 4, though. He wanted top 4, but he didn't quite get it. So he's much happier that he got it this time around. That I do know.
Monomax was Amber yesterday.
Amber was he? Yes,
and
I'm pulling it up now. Yeah, he was
Amber ended up winning it.
He was Amber, and he had those crippling blows, of course.
It's Bainbow. Have we seen like a different kind of strategy in these two decks so far? Is there much difference between them that we've noticed?
You know what? Honestly, most of them have pretty much been your typical gargoyle package with your crashes. It's been like the Morbid Acolytes, the Death Mage Statuses, the Furion Terrors. They've pretty much been a lot of the same stuff.
But come game 2, 3, and possibly 4 and 5, with the sideboarding options, sideboarding now for a Bainbow Mirror, that's a new thing I don't think we've seen today. Bainbow versus Bainbow?
I don't know that we have seen a Bainbow Mirror. Well, me and you definitely haven't casted that. I know that much.
So, the first ones, we'll just see how they plan for this, whether either of them actually plan to run into a Bainbow, so it will show up in their main deck. As it comes for second and third games, they'll be trying to outthink each other. I'd probably be dropping more poison arrows in, I think. If they're not already in there, just to get rid of those Karashes. They can both blast through each other's gargoyles, so would you still run gargoyle at that point? Because it depends what other options you've got lying there.
I probably would.
Might we see something like Crimson Vest for even more healing?
That would actually be really cool. I haven't seen that card like at all today.
To be in the, or even into the forest to hide from weapon attacks. Well, any attacks really. I mean, that would stall out a turn pretty nicely for the win. So, of course, it all depends what's in their sideboards.
It does. There could be a lot of little tricks in there.
Now, if anybody sees that the game's already up, then please let us know. So there's a 10-minute break being taken by Lion Dragon. That's what we've just read on IRC. So that means they'll be starting in roughly 5 minutes from now.
Yep.
And I think he deserves that break. He's earned that break for sure. Only 10 minutes. He's only earned 10 minutes.
Well, you can think of a 10-minute break as like a break to go downstairs, grab that like a cup of coffee that you just brewed up, wake yourself up, maybe splash some water on your face, like just something like that to mentally prepare.
He has had an intense weekend.
Is it
He has been
Folgers in
playing
your
a
cup?
lot. Yeah, full
Lewis
juice in
is
your
back.
cup, exactly. Welcome back.
Oh, hello. Oh, we are live, right?
We are
We are
live.
live.
Awesome.
Yes, we are
Yes.
live.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
a good thing I didn't say
Folgers is
something.
now live.
Good thing I didn't say something obscene or extreme.
I'd hope you're
Yeah,
not
you're
saying
known for that.
obscene
Within
things.
this line.
I'm known for that.
Yeah, well done. Staying on the ball.
Yes. Yes.
Is anybody giving out redeem codes? Is Kyle there? Is Kyle still on the call? I think he is.
I'm digging up some codes to give out.
Oh, he is there, and he is digging up codes. He's on the button.
Excellent.
I
That's
feel
the
like
tradition now.
I feel like we're holding Mr. Kyle hostage, where he's trying to nod off there, and we just keep looking him up.
Can't
Nod
sleep
off.
yet.
How could you nod off with these matches going on? We're about to find out who meets Leo in the best of 7 final. Will it be Lion Dragon? So he's meeting for the 5th time Leo in a best of 7. Or will it be Monomax?
Who has already beaten Leo in short order, might add.
It could be anyone's. Well, not anyone's, any of these 3. We know now that one of these 3 is going to be the champion, the world champion. The Lion
True.
Dragon from A1, Monomax from Team Juggernauts, or Leo from KA.
Yeah,
One of
it's
those
definitely-
3 will
it's
be the
definitely one of
world
them.
champion.
Narrowed it down to 3 people. We started with 16. We're now down to 3.
And Monomax is the lone Team Juggernaut in these grand finals as well. And he's forged on ahead like a Juggernaut today, all the way through to the final.
He has. He's pretty much bulldozed the competition. He's just been running through everybody.
Yeah, I mean, he's represented the guild well. As has Lion Dragon, who had a few of the guild members in the competition.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. Is that on Monomax's part, he's the lone juggernaut. He's the one of.
Yeah,
He's the only one, and he's all the way in the finals, undefeated right now.
yeah. So they were sparsely represented, but represented well by their lone number.
Yeah,
And right
kudos to
now,
Monomax.
apart from my clips, what we've got is the person who qualified the longest ago now against the person that qualified most recently ago. So more than a year ago spans these
Cool.
2. Next year we won't have such a gap. We certainly won't have more than a year gap because we'll run out of time to host the final. I think we'll start probably having qualifiers in spring or something. If we use the same format, feedback on the format that we used this year, which was a deviation from the previous year. It'd be great to know what people think about that, how we can make it even better next year. We tried something different this time. There were some delays in the middle which skewed things slightly. As of next year, though, we'll be starting in 2014. We'll be ending in 2014. We probably won't be doing anything with the quick match ladder next year. It'll be probably regional tournaments, maybe some sealed deck, possibly booster draft, possibly league system. I know that some other games they start off with a round robin between 4 players, and then the winner of the round robin goes into a 32-player knockout. So there's loads of different possibilities for format changes. We've gone with the double elimination this year in the finals. Let us know how you think that went. We're listening to feedback. Keep it constructive, and then we can make it 2014 the best ever.
Absolutely. I mean, your feedback matters to us immensely, and we obviously take it very seriously. Let us know what you think of the format and of the event as a whole. I mean, personally, I like to think that regardless of the format, we've gotten some of the best matches humanly possible in these last 2 days. I mean, the level of competition has just been unreal.
I think it's fair to say that we hit the target with the quality of players here. We hit the target with the value that people get when they show up, because last year it was just 32 man, you could be knocked out in the first round. You've got all the way to the grand finals, you get knocked out in the first round, it's all over. This year, everybody's had a lot of chances to make it through.
Yeah, that was the big difference and the big deviation on this year, is we specifically wanted to give people more chances. That's why not only is it double elimination, but that's also why we went with the whole 2-day format where they're playing in 2 separate events and they can qualify for this best of 7 playoff on either day. It's specifically so they have sort of like a lot of lives to make it through.
To make sure that luck plays the smallest factor as possible, to make sure that, I think whoever wins the most of those matches, most of those games that they run into throughout both days, will end up the champion.
I mean, just look at the results we've had so far. Like 3 of the top 4, same people. You know, that's consistency. That's not luck. Those are people that are good enough to consistently get that top 4 spot. So obviously, like, something's going right.
Indeed, I mean, we're able to see apparently the brewing of a rivalry between Lion Dragon and KA Leo, which may end up being a 7-game slugfest, or a best of 7 slugfest.
It will be one to watch. They're all ones to watch, but wow, that slugfest between those two.
We haven't
Just
done
hoping they don't bring the same hero.
Sideboarding yet. Oh, that'd be great. The mirror match, best of 7. It would all depend on what the sideboard is to see how they deviate from each other.
Yes, that would be not leave a whole lot of ammunition to commentate on, considering the card variety's not quite stellar.
For the value for the viewers, it'd be great if it was a human shadow face-off as well. It would add more lore. I'm sure that Kevin would enjoy that as well if it was a shadow human best of 7 face-off.
That would be cool. I'd like that.
The war rages on.
The war rages on. The war of Baelor.
Especially because of how the day 1 was the human day and day 2 turned out to be the shadow day. It would just be kind of cool to see, like, the day 1 deck, the day 2 deck, go.
They are completely free to choose whichever decks they want for the best of 7 face-off.
Yep,
so
best of 7 is they prepared how they like.
Why not do that?
Alright. Do we have any update on the next round, or?
No, we're just waiting for LD to come back from his coffee break.
Yeah.
Which we've now decided is most certainly a coffee break.
Well, I mean, it's a well-earned coffee break. I'll give him that. It's a well-earned coffee break.
It's also a stretching break, I'm sure. You know, just to get up, stretch the muscles, get comfy again, because been playing for hours. You know, it gets exhausting.
Yeah, give your eyes a second of not looking at the screen, focusing your brains out.
This might be a good time to plug the Kickstarter.
Absolutely.
Good idea.
Shadow Era is going to be taken to the next level. Oh, look, they've started playing. That's great. There we go.
That is twice in a row now.
Bainbow.
On both days you've tried to do your Kickstarter kick, and then bam, they start.
Yes. Well, to conclude that, yes, we do have the Kickstarter running. We do have a link on the site, and we'll post a link in the chat and see if we can get a link up for you guys. Using to help support Shadow Era 3.0, which includes the slew of new features, Shadow Fates, and a whole bunch of awesome stuff detailed at the Kickstarter site that will bring Shadow Era into the next generation, the next wave.
Yes, Baloo has posted the Kickstarter link in there, so if you click on that, you can see what we're talking about.
Yes, Baloo, good stuff. Cape Suzette and all, good stuff.
We've got more than Acolyte on the field.
I'm sad nobody got the Tailspin reference. Sad face.
Tailspin?
Never mind.
Actually, I watched that TV show. Foil Gargoyle. That could be all the. That could be the key there. Foil Gargoyle.
Well,
No, he's just been neutralized. Actually, is there any point neutralizing him?
no, he's neutralized.
Yes, there was a point neutralizing him. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a matchup that's very different for them. And I don't know if we've covered a Bimbo mirror yet. So it'll be interesting to see how the Bimbo plays when he knows he doesn't have to stare down mind controls and arming them, actually. Worry about antimatter. I mean, Mr. Trevor, what do you think is the key to this matchup?
A Bimbo mirror? You know what? I said it before. I'm going to say it again. I think it revolves around Disciple Voldemort. I think Disciple Voldemort is the starting point, and then the rest of the decisions are kind of based around that card and how you answer it.
Agreed. I think that's more of a game 2, game 3 matchup. But for game 1 especially, I think definitely Wrath of the Forest is a central card to look at.
That's true. Getting a Dronjin online, that's textbook. Any game of Shadow Era, you kind of always want that Dronjin to get online. If it doesn't get online, that alone could be a reason you lose. Like, if you're Banebo and I'm Banebo and you get Wrath of the Forest and I don't, I probably lose to you.
I'm wondering how important the combat math's going to be. It's going to be hugely important, I think, when we see these 5 health allies sticking around, the gargoyles, planning out your turn, thinking ahead. I can foresee a lot of thinking ahead being required in this.
That's true too.
You're staring at your own hand and thinking, he might have those things in his hand as well. What else does he have? Just a Death Collector there from Monomax be killed. I don't think we've got one of those in the Lion Dragon deck, and he can, if he wasn't dead, he would be able to get rid of some Shadow Knights.
That's true, actually, and that could have an impact on Lying Dragon's thinking. If Lying Dragon starts going, I don't play Death Collector, why is he playing Death Collector? And he starts to try and think through that line of play, and that could lead to like an alteration in what he might sack or what he might keep, or because Death Collector isn't the most durable. I think all of Lying Dragon's allies are like the durable kind.
So he had Acid Jet in his main deck to take out the Soul Seeker, which is going to help out a lot. Both of these do have quite a lot of allies in the deck, which means that Soul Seeker can deal with them, heal up. So if you have a Soul Seeker destroyed early, that could be quite a big difference maker.
It could be. That's true.
I wonder how much destruction Monomax is running.
That's another question. Like, does Monomax say have a main deck Acid Jet, or is Acid Jet for him a sideboard card? Because obviously for Lying Dragon, he's got him in the main deck.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a matter of, Acid Jet, Shrieks, answers, really.
Because I would think of Acid Jet as a card that would be very easy to justify in a sideboard. And so you might think, oh, obviously he's sideboarding it because it's a sideboard tournament. But then he does it in the main deck and gets you with it like he just did here. As Monomax, he might be like, uh-oh. Oh.
Shrieks come down to get rid of the draw engine.
Well, that's an uh-oh right there, as Thaddeus was likely to die there, and now Dragon has to really think twice about that.
As you mentioned, actually, there you go. They both play draw engines. One of them lost their draw engine. One of them still has it. Does that end up being a deal maker? So he disables
Well, I think
it.
maybe another might get dropped soon. Poison Arrow comes in, disables that DMT.
So he consciously decided not to kill it that turn, so as not to give him the draw on that turn, and went for the hero's armor instead.
Yeah. So he's trying to chip away at it as best he could, so that it doesn't really last much. So he can, doesn't have to worry about drawing into another Acid Jet or Shriek.
Soul Seeker pops away due to the enemy Soul Seeker shooting it down. And another Soul Seeker. Wow. They've got so many weapons and armor just flying around this game.
It's going to be a war of attrition here, I think. Just each bashing into the other.
There you go. He did it correctly. He made Wrath of the Force go away before the Thaddeus died to poison. That was like the perfect way to do it. So that poison arrow was the correct decision. So that's good because now both players have not been able to get their draw engine going. So they're both kind of starved on cards. A little bit of attrition going on.
You've got to wonder if either's going to play a bad Santa when they get low because it fills up the other person. Could that end up helping you, or quite low on resources, both of them as well? So if you spend 2 on the Santa, you've not got much left.
That's
the
true.
other person can flood. So I'm not sure whether I'd be keeping the Santas now or sacking them.
That is, in fact, a hard decision to make. Do you do it? And if you do it, do you like just end up losing too much tempo? So can you afford to do it?
Trying to do the healthy on heroes, but it's not letting me.
Yeah, we're seeing that without cards like Antimatter in play to provide massive card advantage, this is very much a miser's game where every draw is pivotal, every card is of the utmost importance. And it's because neither person has a ton of draw to be playing with. Yeah, if I'm LD here, I'm a little bit concerned that my most pivotal card in the matchup, arguably most pivotal, is my Soul Seeker, and I'm at my second one right now. So I'm still gonna make sure that I get the most out of it. Where that Plasma Behemoth comes out on an empty board, it's gonna demand an answer immediately, as Monomax has already taken some damage.
Oh, he's going to take a lot here.
And he has... Actually, no. Line Dragon's content to just...
He can take 13 here, I think.
No.
Has he not saved enough resources to do the... he's not even hitting with a weapon.
No, Line Dragon's just content to build his board presence, just establish his presence a bit more, and just continue to add more cards into play that Monomax must answer. Because the likelihood of him getting rid of the Shriek and killing the allies is not very high right now, and that is the relevant point.
And there's no mind control in these decks.
There is no
there
mind
shouldn't
control,
be,
so
unless there's hacking going on.
So this is the exact opposite of the last match, where playing Fatties was always a risk, and it was always a check to see if you have the mind control. Now, playing Fatty is the exact thing you want to be doing, because it forces your opponent to have maybe a perfect shot, which we're not really sure either of them is running. And if they do have it, unlike mind control, it's not quite as lucky that they have 4 of it. So
that's fortunate there with the PB. It can whack into the gargoyle to kill it off. Wrath of Forest gone first. That's nice.
Yeah.
I'd say in terms of main deck, Lion Dragons has the advantage against the Banebo.
Yeah, main deck. That'll do something.
Kills off Plasma, like that works.
Like that's a good top deck there. That'll do something.
In this position, that's exactly what you needed to see.
Pretty sweet.
Oh no.
Another one hits. I mean, he can get whacked hard though. He won't die there without, say, a ping or something. And the Furion Terror would be pretty neat right now. Then he can deal with that Plasma Behemoth. He's not got enough for his ability. We don't tend to see Shadow Font in a Banebo deck. So we know he's only got the 4 damage there, plus what's in his hand.
That's
he
actually
suicided the Furion Terror in.
Because there's no Zaldar in this matchup, there's no Shadow Vein, so the Banebo is not as likely to stuck up on that Shadow energy like we've been seeing in some of the other games where it's been Zaldar Banebo. So it's like, you have a situation like this where he just doesn't have enough for his ability right now. He's just kind of stuck at 2.
Ooh, look at that. He's just pulled back a PB as well. He's probably going to use the ability now, right?
I'm thinking writing seems to be on the wall here.
Yeah,
okay, didn't even use the ability then.
Well, because I'm guessing that he didn't use it because it was him using it there was irrelevant, because he hasn't dead on board regardless.
The PB's just died, so yeah, the Shadow Knight will take him out. So that's the first game to Lion Dragon.
Yeah, it's the game goes to he who has the most fatties, and Lion Dragon seems to be it.
question now is, from the sideboards, does the one copy the other and say, hey, Fatties paid off there, so now I'm going to go more Fatties? Could we even see an Ogloth? That would be awesome.
That'd be interesting. That's definitely true. I think for sure those Disciple of Aldmors are going to start wanting to show up.
Yeah, I think
Not be
absolutely.
Will both
surprised.
decks converge, end up very similar, or will they diverge because they're trying to outthink each other?
I think they'll end up very similar, as this is a mirror match and they both have the same weakness. And one of the weaknesses got blatantly exploited by Lion Dragon there. In if the opponent doesn't get a Wrath of the Forest going, it's really hard for them to maintain card advantage, especially if you do. That's one advantage is exploited, because due to his dominance with item destruction, and B, if you're able to get any 5-cost, 5-health allies to stick, that's just immensely relevant because it's hard for them to kill it. And he exploited that to the utmost right there with the Plasma Behemoth that just essentially put the game away in short order, and the Shadow Knight to come in for giggles at the end.
Now's a good time to plug that Kickstarter then, right?
Yes.
Go right on ahead.
5
Brad. Go right
minutes.
ahead.
Do your 5-minute Kickstarter campaign thingy.
See if I can find a link to it. There we go. I found a link. Let's remind everybody what this is all about then. So Shattered Fates is the third set of Shadow Era. It's currently in closed beta testing. All the cards are being played with at the moment by the PFG, the Players Focus Group. They're putting them through their paces, finding bugs, but the main emphasis is on balance testing. But that set is going to hit probably... Okay, I'm not going to commit to a date, but when that set hits, we want to also improve the aspects of the game around that. Obviously, the cards are one aspect. We need to keep bringing new cards out. But in terms of features of the game and polish and so on, we want to invest in that. So that's what the Kickstarter is all about, really. If you back the Kickstarter, then Shadow Era will be able to bring lots of new features. Campaign mode, which has been talked about for a long time, is a way. It's an improved version of the AI at the moment. Normally in an AI match, you would just go head-to-head with an AI component. This will actually have story. The backstory of each of the heroes will be played out in a single-player campaign. What else? 3D Battlefield is important to other platforms, really. It won't bring that much to the game apart from making it look like a contender with others. Sometimes people do side-by-side reviews of TCGs, and Shadow Era is lagging behind in the polish front, I guess. So that will help us stay competitive to people who value superficial things like that. Tournament system.
Superficial? Okay.
Is... Well, it is superficial, really. I mean, cards are the key, and that's why we have the faith that Shadow Era will ultimately prevail, because the cards in the game and the game itself is solid. Okay. That's why we're asking our supporters to back us to do the other things, which keeps the game competitive, to keep it help it reach its potential. Other features: player auctions. So that will enable players to sell off their unused cards to other players, including foils, and they'll be able to buy foils. The deck builder, we've added more and more cards now. We started off with 200 cards. So now we're about to hit 550. We need an improved deck builder now to be able to filter and so on, maybe give stats, player profiles. So within the game, you'll be able to find out more about who you're playing against. And the game's up, I'm told. The game is up on the Kickstarter. So we're going to jump in.
Yeah, game's up. We talked about Kickstarter. That always makes the game start.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, anytime we pull up the Kickstarter, talk about it, they're like, what? They're talking about the Kickstarter. Quick, get the game up. Get it up now.
Don't hate on the plugin. The plugin's being done for your benefit so that the game starts sooner.
I see. That's what it is.
And also, we don't want you to miss out, because there's some great deals on offer on the Shadow Crystals and the packs of Shattered Fates. So It's a way to get a good deal on what's coming up. There's a Death Collector left in. it with a poison arrow.
Yeah, I think Death Collector is a great card in this matchup. I don't know how relevant it's going to be in the matchup because I don't know how often it's going to be able to really trigger, but its presence is going to be something that's really relevant. And the fact that it's an ally that can become a giant deal with me threat on its own without the help of anything else, I think that's important. That's something that could turn a game.
Depends wholly on how many he's got in there, I guess. In the first instance, whether he only added them as like extra 3-drops or whether they were critical to his plan. He's kept one in, so I guess he must still see that it's relevant.
Absolutely. We're seeing that the Fury Terror comes down and he just kind of cleans up the board. But what's really important here is that Wrath of the Forest is in play, and unless it is answered, it's going to quickly start to amount to an advantage for Lion Dragon. That can quickly push him into an advantageous spot. And out of respect for it, the Shriek comes down to deny him any sort of card draw off of likely Fury Terror's last breath.
Always about that foil Shriek.
That full Shriek is fantastic. It's a great looking Shriek.
Oh, it's fantastic when it's destroying Wrath of the Forest. Like that's
Yes.
perfect. It's exactly what it wants to be doing.
That Shriek has a little bit of a glint in his eye. Like, he's proud of his job. His lot in life makes his parents so happy.
There's the Acid Jet doing its work as usual, killing off weapons and armor. Lion Dragon has been playing those Acid Jets left and right this entire time.
I feel I should apologise for mocking superficial features earlier, because we're making a big thing out of foils and out of sleeves. They do matter to people. So the more other ways that people can differentiate themselves, the more extra nice stuff we can add in. It just all adds to the enjoyment
right there.
of the game,
They're niceties, aren't they?
Yep. They're nice.
There's the little things, and I think the little things matter most.
And they can be worked on in parallel to designing new cards. So that's good. We bring out the new cards, we pick the nice art, and then it gets slapped on a sleeve, and then it gets foilized. That's the right word, foilerized.
I'm also a fan of alternate art heroes too. I thought that was pretty cool when it was done.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, that's another thing that wasn't really a change, say, in gameplay, but it was a cool touch. It was a neat touch, and the community was positively receptive to it when we first brought them out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, alternate always an amazing concept. It's an amazing way to kind of repackage stuff and show you, different sides of some of the characters in the world, and different ways that they can be interpreted.
And that's one of our stretch goals for the Kickstarter. If we hit it, more alternate art, and the community will get to vote on which cards will get the alternate art. I will vote heavily for Birgit Skullborn, because the moment she looks pretty ugly.
That's not nice, sir. Yes.
So we can see here we have a situation where Monomax is actually looping Shadow Knights.
Yep.
And that Shadow Knight just got to smack a Lion Dragon for 5 damage to the face.
Yes. Apparently you all heard it here, folks. Mr. GC is not a nice man. Apparently.
Not a nice man? You heard it here first. Everyone knows that.
Common knowledge, apparently. Common knowledge.
Wasn't Lion Dragon rocking some sleeves yesterday and in the last chance qualifier?
He was doing it yesterday.
Oh, he had the bloodless sleeves, didn't he?
Today.
The bloodless sleeves, and the day before
I
he
think
had
the bloodless sleeves.
some other sleeve. No sleeves today.
Nice. It's too bad he took away sleeve advantage, gave it to his opponent.
Could that be key?
That could be the deal breaker. It could be like this Banebow Mirror just comes down to Fury and Terror sleeves.
So far, though, it's going okay in his favour. He's got the 1-0.
He does.
Starting to kill stuff now. Taking the board. The Shadow Knight has really been quite a key ally in this matchup so far. Well, and the Plasma Behemoth. When that comes down, if that sticks. Oh, a Knight just picked up a Knight.
Yeah, he's just pretty much textbook looping Knights at this point.
He's trying to get up to 10 so that he can drop 2 of them.
Yeah, he has the other one in his graveyard. That'd be perfect. Go Knight, Knight, Knight.
Knight. He needs to get up a bit higher, but we know that he's got 1 Knight in his hand. What else?
Knight, sleep tight. Ha.
But Knight will not help him right now deal with that board, which is looking pretty ugly at the moment. He's dropped an armor and a Knight.
That's actually kind of relevant. He drops Wrath of the Forest, which means every time his loop is killed, he just loops it again, draws a card, loops it again, draws a card, and of course Acid Jet, because like I said, he's throwing them all over the place. Acid Jet's all over. Flying Dragon is not a fan of armors.
Got whacked. So this turn, I think we're going to see double Shadow Knight. That will be possible if he wants to get rid of that card. But still, there's enough on the board. No, perfect shot. Got to deal with that Disciple. Soul Seeker then, perhaps? Or Furion Terror.
This is really showing us the power of a Shadow Knight loop, though. He's really using them just to deflect like so much damage off of his hero. So every turn, it's like, kill it again, kill it again, kill it again.
Absolutely true, but I think the key thing, too, is that as much as he is looping, Lime Dragon is slowly taking the time to build up his own board state, so that his looping is, the effectiveness of his loop is only getting worse over time, as he has more and more answers to the loop himself.
Well, yeah, he's digging for answers while the Shadow Knight just dies constantly. I mean, Monomax is on the back foot, but this is like the only thing keeping him in the game is the loop.
Absolutely.
If not for the loop, he'd probably be dead already.
A double Furion Terror would almost completely wipe the board at this point.
He would have to have a Furion Terror in his hand, and he would have to have just drawn one, and then he'd have to sack the Shadow Knight that we know he has in his hand.
Oh, yeah, that's not so nice. Yeah, Bad Santa won't help. Yeah, that's tough.
It's a pretty strict requirement. Like I'm pretty sure his opponent quite a bit ahead right now because of the strict requirement.
Indeed.
Loops were nice, but if that Wrath of the Forest, it had to stick because it got acid jetted right away. It basically killed his ability to come back.
Yeah, because right now what happens is every turn Lime Dragon is going to be possibly adding another ally to the board, or maybe doing something else to expand his board presence. And sure he's not putting damage on the hero. He keeps killing the Shadow Knights, but the downside to that is that
he's decided to sacrifice something.
And he does
he
have
really
a
needed that 5, so that'll be the SK and another SK.
Alright, so he thought about it, sacrifice something else.
That's not bad, but the loop may not be broken.
They will both die though, won't they?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Lewis and Lime Dragon may have a loop of his own now.
He's looping when he's like ahead already.
Lime Dragon
and
may
he
be
just broke his opponent's loop. Oh no!
And healed off the Furion Terror, so I'd say now that
however, we know there's a Shadow Knight in Monomax's hand, and that will get back a Furion Terror, which means they can redo its on-summon ability.
Unfortunately, it will hurt itself, won't it? It will hurt his own SK.
Yes, that would happen. Oh, there you go.
Gone for the armor instead.
There's a Wrath again. I suppose the idea is to play Shadow Knight, get the Furion back, let your Shadow Knight die, and then use a Furion next turn to clean up the board.
Yeah, that would work.
Possibly the plan there.
So Knight will die, but he'll draw a card off that, unless there's another Acid Jet.
Knowing Lying Dragon, there could be.
If he had some more Shrieks in as well. Well, if he had it in the first place.
Maybe. I mean, he does have some measure of Arm Destruction in his main deck, and we only know what he sided in, if he has more in his sideboard or not.
It's Monomax that we've seen using Shrieks, the foil Shrieks.
Because what we're seeing right here is that Lion Dragon may have assured that his loop will continue. But that Wrath of the Forest may have allowed Monomax to fight back into this.
It's amazing how it was looking like it was over, and then he turned it round. I mean, he's still in trouble, but Monomax could still turn it around.
Ooh.
He's just dropped a PB. He said,
that was
"Oh,
good.
you used that last game. I'll bring
That's,
one of my
that's
own
the
out."
power of that night loop going on for like 4 turns. It really mattered. And like you
There's a
said, he
lot of
got up
pressure
to
there,
10
yeah.
resources. He got up to 10. He was able to double drop fatties, and there you go. The Wrath of the Forest sticking, though, that second one there, though, that was key, because just like he nearly lost because he lost the Wrath of the Forest, he's now back in the game because he has the Wrath of the Forest.
Right, the Martin JF card is really putting in work.
Yeah,
I
it's one of
guess
the...
Lewis's prediction must have been right. You said Wrath of the Forest. Look what card's doing work right now.
Wrath of the Forest is in my opinion, the key card in the matchup. As if either player is able to get it and get some work out of it, it can easily just refill their hand, allow them to, as Monomax did, just get up to a high resource count and start double and triple casting and really push their opponent, off a cliff.
Oh, a foil Death Collector. Pushing your
Ooh.
opponent off a cliff is pretty BM, though. That's not manner. It's not manner at all. Supposed to be playing a game, you push them off a cliff, that's like cheating.
There aren't really a lot of draw options for hunters. We've seen Sack Clam. Sack Clam can give you huge value when you have Wrath of the Forest out. Potentially get 4 cards off that. I don't know if either player is using that.
That was a great turn, but there's a slight, sad concession in that turn that the Death Collector survived, which means that Shadow Knight is probably going to be removed from the graveyard this turn.
He's got enough to do that. So yeah, take it
There
off
he
the top.
So loop is concluded, which Death Collector is a nice little trump in this matchup. Not exactly a game-breaking card, but a nice little trump to have, as he has at least 2 copies so far that we've seen, 1 foil and 1 non-foil.
And that is exactly what it's meant for, is pretty much what it just did there. So
Yeah.
it can break a Shadow Knight loop and also get big on the side. It's a nice little graveyard hate card.
Absolutely.
I
Ooh.
think that's one of my favourite arts in the game. Death
Death Collector.
Collector. He just looks awesome.
He does look rather morbid, as it were.
I don't know.
Brilliant artwork.
I like Death Collector. He looks like a fisherman who happens to be fishing in,
Like trawling for dead bodies.
yeah.
Giant wings on his back.
Looking at his art, I really kind of wish his flavor text was simply "Bring out your dead." That's just what it calls out to me.
I can't
I
remember
guess
what the
it's-
flavour text on that is, because every other part of that card came from an idea from me. Well, I didn't put the flavour text on, so I don't know.
Don't you
He's
bring
putting
out
the
your
work
dead?
there, and he's going to keep growing as well.
Bring
yeah.
out your dead. I like it.
I don't know if it is Bring Out Your Dead, but
No, I don't think it is. It's just,
Yeah. For those of you who don't get it, it's a Monty Python reference. It's
right.
gotta love Monty Python.
Look at how this has turned round. What we've been talking about. Death Collector, he's broken that loop. He's pumped himself up. Look at this board now.
Yeah.
Has Monomax turned it?
He's thinking, though, does the Plasma Behemoth attack into that Soul Seeker? He's going, do I let my Plasma get injured? Because if I do that, it might just die. But I need to do it to lower durability on that Wrath of the Forest, so maybe I want to.
well.
He does decide to.
Bobby Pim's chiming in the live stream, saying the original artwork was red. It was. We wanted to make it fit more with the Dark Prophecies theme as well. I think it works better.
Ooh.
Especially the foil.
Long Dragon may have turned
I agree.
something of a corner himself there.
Yep, Acid Jet again. Line Dragon always has them.
Nice.
Well, a little bit
Acid
late to
Jet
the
house
party. A little bit late to the party, but still relevant.
Oh, definitely relevant. I mean, look at the life difference. If Flying Dragon can stabilize, he's the guy that's way ahead in the life total. He could win it.
Yeah, and I believe, unless he resorted, he has a Shadow Knight in hand.
Question is, can he stabilize? That's the big one.
Yes. Yes, can he stabilize? Actually, no, he might have used that one Shadow Knight.
Might have. One got removed and one's dead right now. That's what we know so far.
Yeah.
Okay, draws a card.
Well, that's right.
It would be great if he had a Shadow Knight because that means that terror can come back, but doesn't look like that's going to happen.
No. Some 3 drops.
Why not? Buy time off your hero, maybe protect your armor, or if the armor gets brought down, your allies get to stay alive.
Yeah, you can use that Morbid to talk the armor off the gargoyle so that he can smack him.
Well, he's likely going to do the same thing. He's trying to do the same thing that Marmax did to him, which is just use essentially a form of stall tactics, just draw enough cards to draw his way out of this mess.
What a beautiful mess it is.
What a beautiful mess. Great quote there. Use that.
It's like, no, I've heard that line before. I don't know where it's from. I know there's a song named after it, but I don't know where
Right.
it's from.
And Monomax having to think hard here what he's going to do. He's killed off that gargoyle, given away a card, but...
Yeah, he's going to concede and let him draw instead of attacking in and getting rid of the Wrath of Force. They have 1 durability left.
Yeah, it was a hard choice to make. He had to either go for the Wrath or go for the ally. He said the ally.
Both players now, so Lion Dragon's got 10 cards left, 8 in deck, 2 in hand. This is a very epic match. Well, I thought it was over long ago.
Oh, it was nearly over. It was close.
Nearly over. Quite the turnaround.
Well, mind you,
He
both
pulled a
of them,
Wrath off the top, and then his opponent did not have an Acid Jet right on time, and that kind of let him get back in.
well, it's worth noting that both their decks are starting to get rather skinny.
Oh, yes. 8 on one side, 11 on the other.
That Shadow Knight looping has helped things so that they've effectively probably had something like 45 worth of cards because of the looping.
That's true.
Actually.
Otherwise they'd be even lower now.
Well, not really, because they did both draw each turn they were looping. They didn't handlock.
Right, yes. I guess that's enabled them to get up to higher resources. Being at 10 is really useful if you've actually got 2 cards per turn, but right now, Mono Max is only going to be getting 1. Oh, heal. Suddenly the boards are getting very empty again.
He used Morbid Acolyte to talk Karash out of having the damage reduction.
Yeah, took the iron off him.
Interesting, he kills a Crash but does not kill the Morbid Acolyte, knowing that if he kills the Morbid Acolyte, his Gargoyle is going to survive, whereas now it will not.
Well, they both hit the Wrath of the Forests. So they're both suddenly playing the draw game over again.
And that gargoyle's dead. Drawn a card.
Yes, but Lion Dragon is going to be drawing first blood off of the draw.
Wow.
Ooh.
Acid Jet again.
I wonder if... Could we get to a situation where just both boards are clear and they're just ticking down through mill damage? That would be pretty...
That'd be crazy.
a slow way to
I
end
don't think
it.
I've seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Like, I mean, in all likelihood, it'll probably be somebody has, like, 1 ally in play and has, like, the slow, the slow boat clock going, but even then, it's
That
still
Wrath
a
of the
clock.
Forest could end up killing him because he'd be drawing cards that aren't there.
True, but considering his life is almost max, that's fine.
Yeah, he's got the board now, so...
He's got it pretty soundly, too, actually.
Heal the Karash. He's just going to be talked out of his damage reduction. Banebo's got his ability built up, so... Isn't there almost enough board on there enough on the board there to end it? There's 8 on the board there, isn't there?
Yeah, but he's gonna like to just be patient and just advance his board even more, knowing that he has his opponent on a 1-turn clock, which is pretty much a game here. There's not much his opponent can draw out
Maybe
of it.
if he drew a bad Santa, then no, he's past turn. That's
Nope.
game. So that's,
Yep, that's
2
game.
to Lion Dragon.
Yep, and this is best of...
Yeah, it's
Five.
the best of 5, so it is not over. until someone gets to 3.
Yes.
Those go up all the way. It's the long haul
Monomax
game.
might fight back now. You learn the lessons of what got sideboarded there. Lion Dragon, though, might outthink him also.
Pop.
There's the game then. 2-0 to Lion Dragon.
Absolutely. Lion Dragon showing that he's going to just roll off the steam from his victory over Mr. Leo and show how badly he wants to be the champion this time instead of being left at the altar as the runner-up again.
Oh, he was fighting for it. That's for sure.
Right, so we're going to take a 5-minute break now, talk over what's happened. I'm popping out to get some cherry coke, and then we'll jump back in.
More
Give him a
cherry coke,
chance to-
yeah.
Yeah, Kyle's giving out redeem codes at this time, so I'll mute myself and be back shortly.
So what do you think so far, Lois, based on what you've seen?
So far, I haven't seen anything too surprising. As I mentioned before, Wrath of the Forest is easily the most important card in the matchup, as neither hero has access to great draw. Wrath of the Forest is like such a pivotal draw that for either player, if they can get Wrath of the Forest to stick for a couple of turns, it'll just ruin their opponent's hand and board state. So I think Wrath of the Forest is easily the MVP of this matchup. Gargoyles and some of the other allies, these are important and they do a good job, but Wrath of the Forest just really turns the game around so much. I mean, we saw it turn that game 3 times, I believe.
That game in particular was like the textbook example of why you basically said, Wrath of the Forest, most important card, there's why. Every time it was getting played, it was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah.
That card sticking was like an issue every single time.
Well, yeah, I mean...
And when Lion Dragon was answering it immediately with Acid Jets, that's basically what was causing Monomax to fall behind every single time. That's why eventually he ended up winning, is because he just kept killing those wraps. They just never got to stick.
Absolutely. I mean, Lion Dragon having a lot of respect for the draw that Wrath can provide and the incremental advantage it can provide over time. So he just respects it enough to just not let it stick at all if he can help it.
True. I wonder if they'll make any adjustments to their sideboarding. They just did Game 2. They definitely sided in cards. Like you see the Disciple of Aldmore start showing up.
Yeah.
Suddenly Monomax seems to have Acid Jets too. I don't think he started with them, but he had them there. You almost wonder if they'll make more adjustments. Maybe adjustments for going first or second. Maybe different ally choices. Maybe swapping some out for some other things to try and throw the opponent off.
Maybe. I know that Lion Dragon up 2 games to 0. He's 1 game away. He's got 3 chances essentially to win 1 game to put this away, and we've seen that he's fought so hard. He's worked so hard over the last 3 or 4 days that he's hungry. He wants this. I mean, he probably wants sleep just as badly, which nobody could blame
He's
him.
hungry. He wants sleep. He wants sleep so bad that he's going to win this 3-0 just so he can have sleep.
Yeah, which he would have earned, mind you. But no, Monomax as well. I mean, they both fought really hard, but it's just a matter of can Monomax collect himself from being down in a 2-0 hole and gather himself and just push back. Just have a solid start, make some solid plays, and just really push and press, press Dragon and squeeze out a 4th game to just not let this be the end of his day.
I would say he can. I think he can do it because Monomax came into this from the upper bracket, the winners bracket. So I definitely think he has a shot.
There's an interview we're supposed to be talking about?
Well, I just thought I'd show that back in the day I interviewed Lion Dragon after coming second in the World Championships 2 years ago.
It's an older interview,
Website,
sure.
You can find out a little bit about him.
An interview? Wow, 2 years ago. Long time.
So, see, like Zaladar in 1.24. So anyway, this is on my website. Check it out. If you can guess what it is based on my name, Gondorian.com. So anyway, that's over there. A lot of the content is out of date, but sometimes historical things are interesting. Looking back 2 years to find out from him now if he ends up being the champion. So anyway.
All right, they've started game 3.
There we go. Let's jump in.
Right on time, too. They started right after you got back from your drink break.
Now, the sideboarding in this one, wow. Will some of the stuff that came in go back out again? Will they get
That's
rid of
exactly
stuff
what
from
I
the
was
first
thinking.
game?
It's entirely possible. If I'm Monomax, depending upon what he's sideboarded in, I've seen pretty much most of what I expected to see from my opponent's deck. He hasn't played anything really that surprised me. Maybe the Furion was something I didn't anticipate seeing, both the Shadow Knight and the Plasma Behemoth, but knowing that's something that Bimbo runs for various reasons, it's not an altogether shocking. So I think that I'm pretty set up the way it was. It's just a matter of what's in his sideboard, and is his sideboard really built for this matchup?
I would personally take out the Wrath of the Forest, because then that makes the Acid Jets useless. That's what I'd do.
And what would you with
No, my love's out of it.
You know what we call that? We call that next level thinking.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Taking out what the opponent considers to be the key card, because then the answer to it is now a dead card.
he's going
Iron
deep.
Dragon has not taken that advice, so
Yeah,
he's
it's like
used that card, and he's
I'm-
lost it to Shriek, so that useless Shriek, it would have
Acid
been
Jet,
useless.
actually. Acid Jet, actually.
Yeah, useless.
Well, no,
Acid
that's
Jet.
it. Shriek and Acid Jet can become useless if you simply just take Wrath of the Forest out.
Yes, although I'm pretty sure that GDC would replace the Wrath of Forest with like rainbows and poems about his hatred for Martin Jeff.
Actually, yeah, I would take it out definitely. I would add in some Bad Santa to negate the value that he gets from his own draw engines.
But why would you have Bad Santa in your sideboard anyways?
Why?
I was actually expecting you to take it out for some cards you created. Take out some Martin JF cards for some Gondorian cards.
Alright, yeah. Nice move. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'd be adding in 4 Death Collectors for sure.
Yeah, the two of you definitely are Peter and the Chicken.
You can play your Death Collector. I'm going to play my Debt Collector.
You're a debt collector?
Yeah, he's a human ally. He does almost the same thing.
I mean, does he have like some sort of a meter that he uses to judge it?
His flavor text may or may not be bring out your dead.
May or may not be. I suppose, what, hint it is?
Yeah,
Going back to the next level thing, against rogues, if they've got gains going pretty well, you drop a Bazaar, and suddenly you're not filling up their hand because their hand's already full. You actually kill a rogue if you give them too much draw. So, maybe...
Interesting.
That sounds a lot like the theory of a Santa bomb. You bomb their hand and then there you go.
Interesting, where Monomax is technically ahead in hand position, having more cards, but on Dragon, even though his Wrath of the Forest is gone, he's content to just add more fatties to the board, regardless of the Shadow Knight loop, because either of his allies on the board can take care of it. Easily, might I add. So, we see Monomax again, although starting first, in a hole behind on the board pretty dramatically.
What's Monomax going to do to get himself back into this? He's thinking about it. So
Well,
obviously it's not an easy
Well,
decision.
a Furion Terror plus Rainbow ability will help out
Actually,
to some
not
extent.
too much. I mean, it'll help a little bit,
Can't remember what's on the board there now.
but it won't kill the
Won't
behemoth.
kill
And
either, actually.
nope. But that will.
Good
perfect
shot. That's perfect. That's
That's
exactly what you need to get rid of a plasma hematite.
that's one of
Oh,
those
wow,
where
he's going to clear the whole board now.
Oh,
indeed he
His
is.
ability.
someone's been thinking. He
See?
just
That's
crafted the
perfect.
perfect play.
That's next level thinking, sir.
No, I still think next level thinking is taking out Wrath of the Forest.
Yeah, but ooh, and Dragon content to not push any real form advantage, and just a swing in with Soul Seeker. Wrath of the Forest, likely off the top, is a fantastic draw for the current board state and for the game in general.
Now, do we predict an Acid Jet?
Nope.
Okay.
Street will do as well, though.
Not this time.